rejected Russian and now possibly US calls. He gives up land his enemy hasn't yet captured.
Good evening, America, and to the rest of the world. I guess you're just background characters. Tonight's headlines. Hurricane Erin says, forget Florida, I'm taking the scenic route. Zelensky and Trump, the summit nobody asked for. A Brooklyn nightclub turns into a crime scene instead of a dance floor. And finally, Terence Stamp, yes, General Zod himself, has left the building. Buckle up, it's another fun ride through the apocalypse. Hurricane Erin. Nature's drunk ex-girlfriend. Hurricane Erin is making headlines again, proving once more that Mother Nature is basically that drunk ex who shows up at 3 a.m. just to scream on your lawn. The storm is spinning its way up the Atlantic, flirting with the East Coast, but classic move, still refusing to commit. Meteorologists are like Tinder matches. They keep saying maybe it'll swipe left, maybe it'll swipe right, while everyone just sits there pretending to care about spaghetti models. Now, the experts keep telling us Erin might not make landfall in the U.S. But let's be real. These are the same people who can't predict if it'll rain tomorrow. So forgive me if I don't put my hurricane survival kit back in the closet just yet. And here's the kicker. Erin isn't even that strong, just a Category 1. But the media is hyping it like it's the next Avengers movie. Spoiler alert. It's not Thanos. It's a damn Tuesday. But because Americans need drama, every weatherman in the country is now standing in 40-mile-an-hour winds trying to look heroic. I'm telling you, meteorology is just cosplay for people who couldn't cut it as Marvel stunt doubles. So, stay tuned, because whether Erin fizzles out or wrecks your cousin's beach house, CNN will milk this storm harder than a dairy farm on steroids. And speaking of leaders who like to make headlines, Volodymyr Zelensky is jetting into Washington because apparently diplomacy isn't scary enough without Trump in the room. Translation: Trump probably spent 3 hours explaining how he could have ended the Cold War if only the generals had listened. But Zelensky isn't coming alone. Oh no. He's bringing Europe's diplomatic A-team, Ursula von der Leyen, Macron, Merz, Starmer, and Meloni. Basically, the Avengers of diplomacy, minus the superhero outfits, but with slightly more paperwork. Trump, naturally, wasted no time giving his take. Zelensky can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to. Sure, because stopping an international conflict is basically like hitting the pause button on Netflix. He also ruled out NATO membership and returning Crimea just to keep things interesting. So buckle up, folks. Europe's chaperoning Zelensky to make sure Trump doesn't try to trade Ukraine for a golf course naming rights, and we're all about to witness the most awkward group project in political history. And from international theatrics to Brooklyn, where the nightlife got a little too real, where a nightclub turned into the set of a Quentin Tarantino movie this weekend. A shooting broke out because apparently in America nothing says Saturday night vibes like bottle service and bullet holes. Police say multiple people were injured after some genius decided that instead of dancing, he'd try a live reenactment of Call of Duty. Witnesses describe the chaos as terrifying, which is polite New Yorker for typical Saturday. I mean, come on. Between subway rats, $20 cocktails, and rent prices higher than Snoop Dogg, getting shot at in a nightclub is basically just part of the Brooklyn starter pack. Of course, the NYPD rushed to the scene, probably hoping to get there before TikTok did. But let's be honest, New York crime is so routine now that the police practically have a punch card system. Congratulations, this is your 10th shooting of the month. Enjoy a free coffee and a bulletproof vest. And here's the kicker. The club was advertising itself as the safest spot in Brooklyn. Well, sure, if your definition of safe includes dodging bullets in between shots of tequila. Seriously, nightclubs should just skip the metal detectors and start handing out helmets at the door. Ladies drink free, and gentlemen, please sign this waiver. So yeah, Brooklyn nightlife, come for the music, stay for the gunfire. Because why go home with just a hangover when you can go home with a limp? From bullets flying in Brooklyn to Hollywood legends saying their final goodbyes, it's time for some tragic news sprinkled with sarcasm. Terence Stamp, General Zod, exits stage light. British actor Terence Stamp, yes, the General Zod from Superman 2, has passed away at the age of 86. And honestly, I've got mixed feelings. On one hand, the man was a cinematic legend. On the other hand, I can't shake the irony that the guy who once ordered Superman to kneel before Zod is now kneeling before, well, let's just say someone else. Stamp's career was legendary, from swinging London in the 1960s to being one of Hollywood's most stylish villains, to that unforgettable role in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. The man had range. He could go from terrifying overlord to glamorous drag queen faster than you can say method acting. Fans around the world are posting tributes, while Gen Z is asking, who? You know, because unless someone had a cameo in Euphoria, they basically don't exist. But trust me, kids, Terence Stamp wasn't just an actor, he was a vibe. The guy had more presence in a raised eyebrow than most Marvel actors have in an entire trilogy. And now Hollywood loses yet another piece of its golden age, reminding us that yes, even legends eventually log out. But if there's an afterlife, I'm betting Terence Stamp walked in, raised his voice, and said, "Kneel before Zod." And honestly, everyone probably did. So, let's recap. Hurricanes are stalking the coastline like deadbeat dads. Zelensky is Europe's neediest roommate. Brooklyn nightclubs are handing out lead instead of liquor. And Terence Stamp just gave his final bow. Honestly, Earth feels less like a planet and more like a really badly written Netflix drama. But hey, if you enjoyed watching me roast humanity, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and let me know. Would you rather survive a hurricane, a Brooklyn nightclub, or sit through another Zelensky press conference? Honestly, all three feel equally deadly. I'm Brian Griffin, signing off before something else explodes. Good night, degenerates.